What is going on, guys? It's your boy Dylan the Villain, and we're coming back at you with some more Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. It is Monday, week 1 of January 1997. This episode is coming to you today, as you're watching it, by a request by one David. He suggested that I should do a WCW save. I have been thinking about it for a long time. Like I said in the ECW save, I have been thinking about doing this for a long time, but picking a certain time period in WCW will be hard, but I figured, what the heck, I'm pretty sure that's why y'all like the WWF save, because I'm kind of doing my own thing, pushing my own guys, and stuff like that, and pretty much making my own storylines, with that save, and I think that's why y'all enjoy it, because I'm just not copying history. So we're going to be doing the same thing with ECW and WCW. We're going to kind of be making our own storylines, kind of rewriting history, kind of what I would love to see as a kid growing up, watching WCW and Monday Night Raw, flipping back and forth, and what I would like to see. WCW had a lot of downfall moments, and we're probably going to try to fix that. But like I said in the ECW, in the beginning and the end of the thing, this is all based on fan reaction. So if a lot of people like the video and let me know that they want to see more of this, then we'll be continuing with the WCW save and moving forward with it. I'm probably gonna book all the way up to the first pay-per-view. We only have Monday Nitro to book, which is, I thought it was 2 hours, but it's actually 3 hours long. So there's that, which will let me tell the storylines that I need to tell with the 3-hour show. What else we got? This is all based on fan reaction. So if people like it, then I will continue with it. And if they don't, then we'll pick either ECW or WCW to move forward. I'm looking forward to booking and playing both saves, the ECW save and the WCW save. I'm sure it will help me with burnout for the WWF save. I've been doing the WWF save, as y'all know, for over a year. And sometimes I need to step away from that and recollect myself before booking. The only problem is, if I do pick up a new save, I'm going to have to split my time between the saves, because I only have so much time in my personal life to record, and when I do record, it's bulk recording. And so I record a whole bunch of episodes at one time and edit them all throughout the week and slowly release them in a decent time period. But enough of my jibber jabbering, enough of my ranting. We are going to go ahead and book our first episode of WCW Monday Nitro. We open up the show, and it is Macho Man Randy Savage, and he is in the ring with Mean Gene Okerlund. Mean Gene says, "Well, Randy, it's very unusual that we start the show with the interview segment. Most of the time, we like to get right to the action here in WCW, but you have demanded, went to President Jack Tunney and demanded that you have this interview time. What is on your mind, Macho?" The Macho Man goes, "Oh yeah, Mean Gene. For months now, I've been watching this Hollywood Hulk Hogan, whatever you want to call him, and his group of hooligans run rimshot all over the WCW locker room, and I can't stand it anymore. They have accused all these men turning their backs, being turncoats, and I've told y'all from day one how I felt about the Hulk Hogan. I told every single body that he's nothing but a fake and a phony, and nobody wanted to listen to Macho Man. Yeah, nobody wanted to listen to me. And now we're dealing with the group of hooligans running ramshot here, beating up people left and right, and well, I'm starting to get sick and tired of it, I tell ya. I can't take it anymore. I talked with the Giant, and I talked with Lex, and nobody's heard from the Stinger. Oh yeah, nobody's seen the Stinger. But I'm starting to get sick. And I've told them there's only one man who can beat Hulk Hogan, and that you're looking at him. I'm gonna bring home that WCW World Heavyweight Championship back home where it belongs. In the WCW locker room, not with that nWo, their new world order. Oh yeah, none of that. No more. Hogan likes to play the politicking, but the cream always rises to the top. And when Hogan's lying on his back, I'm gonna drop the elbow drop, and there's nothing he can do about it. So Hogan, and bitch off. I know you're in the back. Oh yeah, I know you're here. I sing your limousine with all your fancy women and your big mommy milker women in the back. And I know you're back there. So why don't you just come on out and we can get this over with, and I can beat you 1, 2, 3 lickety split, yeah. And I can bring that turtle back home with me. And all of a sudden you hear the and here comes the three main members of the nWo. You see Hogan, you see Kevin Nash, you see Scott Hall, and Eric Bischoff. And he has a mic in his hand, and Eric's just like, savage. You just don't know how things work here in WCW, do you? You see, we're not like up north in New York. Oh no. We have our own set of rules and policies. You know, wrestlers just can't go to the ring and beat up whoever they want to and shoot the bird and drink beer and do whatever they want to and think that they get a title shot. No, you have to earn your place here. And Macho Man's just like, I've earned my spot here in WCW more than anybody. And Eric's like, yeah, that's great. Because the last time that I checked, Macho, I'm pretty sure the Giant won World War III. And I'm pretty sure he's first in line to get a title shot. So you talking to the Giant and doing all this stuff, you know, Hogan has procedures that he has to go through. He has to know who his opponent is before he defends his match. He just doesn't answer to impromptu matches and just accept any match, willy-nilly like that. And you can see Macho Man getting tired and everything, and Hogan's in the back and he's rubbing his mustache. You know, he's just doing this and everything. And Macho Man's just like, well, that's funny. Well, it's funny. Because I talked to President Jack Tunney before I came out here. And he said as long as it's okay with the Giant, then I'm gonna get the title shot first. And the Giant said he is more than happy for me to take on Hogan, and he can take on me after I beat Hogan. And Eric's just like, yeah, but Hogan's contract states that that's not gonna happen. And Macho Man's just like, well, I'm not leaving the ring. I'm not leaving the ring until I get my hands on that big yellow mustache and your balding head. And then Hogan takes off his shades and he's starting to look mad, and Kevin Nash kind of just pats him on the shoulder and is like, easy, brother, easy. Macho, all your hooping and hollering will get you nowhere here, right? You see, us three men, we have very lucrative contracts, and we only take matches that we accept. And, you know, I'm not doing anything tonight, and I would love to put you back in your place. So, Hogan, if it's all right with you, let me handle your lightweight. And Macho Man, he's starting to get fired up and everything like that. And he goes, a lightweight? You're going to call me a lightweight? Oh, you want a Mitch? Oh, Big Cash Nash, you got it. I'm gonna see you tonight in the main event. And then Mean Gene's just like, there you have it, folks. Tonight we're gonna see Macho Man Randy Savage take on Kevin Nash in tonight's main event. And then we go on to our opening contest of the night. That got us 95. Not bad. Thank you, Macho and Hogan. And it is I'm sorry, I am in my WWF mode. We see some cruiserweight action. They don't have light heavyweights in WCW, folks. Cruiserweight action. And a bout that had terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat. Ultimo Dragon defeats Psychosis by submission with the Dragon Sleeper. Ultimo Dragon makes defense number 1 of his WCW Cruiserweight title. Ultimo Dragon with a 63, Psychosis with a 37. Announcing color commentary gave the match a boost, and Ultimo benefited from having amazing form. This match got a 55, not a bad match at all, to open up Monday Nitro. We move on to our next segment. Ah, yes. And it is Jeff Jarrett. And he's backstage. And we see the Four Horsemen locker room door. And for months now, Jeff Jarrett has been trying to impress Ric Flair here and try to join the Four Horsemen. He believes that he can be a good horseman. But Flair doesn't think so. Neither does Orton. You know, they don't think he's a good fit. But Jeff Jarrett knocks on the door, and out steps Ric Flair, and he goes, "What now?" Jeff Jarrett's like, Mr. Flair, I tell you, right now, look, you are looking at the future of professional wrestling right here. A lot of people say I'm a young Ric Flair myself and everything, and Ric Flair cuts him off and goes, you've said this 100 times before. You're just not what we're looking for, Jeff. I like you, kid. I like you, kid. I really do. But you just don't have the it factor that we're looking for, you see. And Jeff Jarrett goes, well, let me tell you, Mr. Flair. Tonight I have a match against one Dean Malenko. And if I know that the Four Horsemen's all about professional wrestling and y'all only accept the best wrestlers, well, I'm going to prove tonight as I go against one of the most technical sound men in WCW, Dean Malenko. And Ric Flair is just like, okay, well, we'll be watching. So we move on to our next segment. And in a decent match, Jeff Jarrett defeats Dean Malenko in 12-21 by pinfall. The match got a 70. Dean Malenko with a 71 and Jeff Jarrett with a 60. Alright. So we move on to our next segment. And we see Jeff Jarrett, and he's in the ring, and he's celebrating. And he's doing the things, and he's doing the little Ric Flair strut, and he's going woo and all that stuff. You know, he's trying to impress Ric Flair. But Ric Flair just says he doesn't have the it factor that they're looking for. But Jeff Jarrett is not deterred at all. He is he's still on a mission to impress Ric Flair. But he did pick up a win. So we move on to our next segment. And it is Vicious and Delicious. I always thought that was a cool tag team name. That was always one of the cool tag team names here. But Vicious and Delicious defeat Public Enemy when Buff Bagwell pinned Rocco Rock, that guy, with a straight jacket suplex. That sounds like an awesome move. I might have to look that up. Scott Norton with a 47, Buff Bagwell with a 50, Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock with a 44. Announcing the color commentary gave the match a boost. And after the match, Scotty Riggs runs out and attacks Buff Bagwell. But it is one Scott Norton saving his fellow nWo member. And he power bombs the shit out of Scotty Riggs in the ring as he saves his partner, Buff Bagwell. The segment got a 60. And it gave it some heat. Not bad. Buff Bagwell did great. So yeah, good job. Good job, Buff. We move on to the next segment. American males. And about and a belt that had a decent reaction from the crowd and Superb Wrestling. Harlem Heat defeat the Faces of Fear in 1305. Win 1. Booker T pins Ming with a missile drop kick. Stevie Ray and Booker T both with a 62. That's pretty good. The Barbarian with a 56 and Ming with a 59. Booker T and Stevie Ray have excellent tag team chemistry. Great tag team chemistry. Booker T and Stevie Ray got the tag team specialists along with Ming and Barbarian. Color commentary of the match booths. Sister Sherry did excellent ring work outside. Stevie Ray and Sister Sherry have excellent chemistry together. And Jimmy Hart did some good rings work outside. Jimmy Hart managing the Faces of Fear. We move on to our next segment, and it is 1. Colonel Parker comes out with the Amazing French Canadians, and behind him, and he has a microphone in his hand as Booker T and Stevie Ray with Sister Sherry stand in the ring. And he says, "Boys, y'all made the biggest mistakes of y'all's career. You see, when you dumped me as y'all's manager and picked up that harlot, y'all made a huge, huge, huge mistake. You see, I was on a straight path to bring y'all to the top of the World Championship Wrestling. And y'all were in success. Y'all been tag team champions before, but ever since you picked up Sister Sherry, y'all been going down. So I would like to introduce to y'all my newest clients, the Amazing French Canadians. And next week on WCW Nitro, I'm just going to show y'all why my tag team is way better than y'all." So next week on WCW Nitro, it will be the Amazing French Canadians taking on Booker T and Stevie Ray. We move on to our next segment of the night, and it is Diamond Dallas Page as he defeats Earl Robert Eaton by submission. I was hoping it would be a diamond cutter. Diamond Dallas Page defeats Earl Eaton by submission. The match got a 61. Diamond Dallas Page with a 67, and Bobby Eaton with a better rating of a 73. Bobby Eaton, if y'all don't know who he is, I highly, Robert Eaton, I'm sorry. If y'all don't know who Bobby Eaton is, go look him up. He is probably one of the most underappreciated wrestlers in professional wrestling. That guy is, man, he is highly underappreciated in the wrestling world. But Diamond Page picks up a win. And after the match, Diamond Dallas Page starts going to the back. And Scott Hall comes out. And he seems to have a shirt in his hand and everything like that. And Page kind of looks at him, and Mean Gene, Mean Gene's there, and Mean Gene's like, what's the meaning of this, Scott? And Scott's just like, "Well, Chico, you see, me, Nash, and Hogan, we've been seeing a lot of this, we've been noticing Dally's been putting on some matches, and we believe he will be a great fit for the NWO as a member of the NWO, and we would love for you, Dally, to join us." And Diamond Dallas Page, he rubs his beard and he looks at Kimberly, and he's kind of like, he's shrugging his head. He looks at the NWO shirt and he's holding it up, and the crowd's like cheering. They're like, yeah, DDP, yeah, and while he's doing this, Scott's talking and goes, "Dally, me and you go way back. Way back. Me and you's been friends for years. And he's like, this business is all about who you know, Dally. And if you want to be a world champion, you got to get with the NWO. You got to get good with the right people. You just can't work hard and bust your ass up and down the road. It's all about who you know. Look at me and Nash and Hogan. We're all champions here. And we believe that you would be a perfect fit for the NWO, and you can be a good champion in the NWO. And Dowley's kind of shaking his head, and he's still talking to Kimberly Lee about it. And Mean Gene Okerlund's just like, Dallas, please tell me you're not going to join these group of outsiders, these groups of hooligans of the NWO. And Dowley, he shrugs his shoulders a little bit, and he goes, well, Mean Gene, I have a lot of friends in the back, and I have a lot of friends on both sides of the fence. Guys who are aligned with the NWO, guys who are aligned with the WCW, and I've always tried to stay neutral in that. I never seen myself as an NWO guy. I never seen myself as a WCW guy. I just consider myself the guy. Scott, this offer that you've gave me is quite generous, and I'm gonna have to think this one over about joining the NWO, and you're gonna have to give me some time to think it over before I agree or disagree to join the NWO. And Scott's just like, oh, Dally, take all the time you need. I understand. I know that you're a businessman. I know that you're a smart man, and you'll make the right decision. And hopefully by next week you'll have that decision. And Dally kind of looks at him, and he takes the NWO shirt and he throws it on his shoulder, and he continues to walk to the back as we move on to our next segment. And it is for the United States. It's supposed to be heavyweight. I like calling it the heavyweight title, but the United States title, in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Eddy Guerrero defeats Chris Benoit in 13-21 by pinfall with a frog splash. But during the match, Kevin Sullivan ran down and attacked Chris Benoit for some reason. And Eddy Guerrero makes defense number 1 of the WCW United States title match against 75. Both men with a 76, not bad. It advances all about woman's storyline. We probably may not do that storyline for reasons. But we move on to the next segment. And Kevin Sullivan is just beating the crap out of Chris Benoit. We have no reason why. It advances all about woman's storyline. But Kevin Sullivan is beating the crap out of Chris Benoit to the point that security has to come down and separate, pull Kevin Sullivan off. And Kevin Sullivan's screaming at Chris Benoit something about his wife. We are going to have to find out more of that one. Maybe next week on WCW Nitro we can find out some answers on that. But these two men have to be separated. We go commercial and we come back. And it is Hogan in the locker room, the NWO locker room, and he's sitting there, and he has like a little, like something a rock star would have, like he has like the M&Ms, like the only blue M&Ms, and like he has I can't think of what it's called, and I'm pretty sure my dad's probably going to be screaming at me what it's called, but like he has his own personal little buffet in his locker room. The NWO does. A part of their contract, they're huge rock stars and everything like that. Hogan's sitting there, and Hogan goes to talk, and he just goes to talk, and he's just like, well, let me tell you something, brother. Me and Macho, we never got along, brother. He always accused me of trying to get with Miss Elizabeth. But as you've seen, what happened to Miss Elizabeth? That they're not together anymore, brother. And Eric's just like, yeah. It's pretty funny that he has the audacity to say that you're a political player. I mean, look how he fell out with his former employer. He got accused of sleeping with his daughter. And Hogan's like, yeah, I tell you, that's something I would never do, is sleep with my boss's daughter, brother. Well, brother, and he looks at Nash and he goes, I know that you're going to take care of my lightweight of Macho Man. And you're going to put him down for the count, brother. So, there's no need for me to come to the ring at all. And Nash kind of looks at Hogan and is just like, you're good. You're good, Hulk. Just sit in the locker room, relax, and enjoy your time off, man. I got this. And we move on to that segment. And in an exceptional match, it got a 77. Why? Not enough selling. What? We're going to have to look. Penalized for stamina and lack of selling. That's okay. Kevin Nash with an 85 and Randy Savage with an 88. It lost heat. The storyline lost heat. I thought it was going to be a banger of a match. The match suffered from lack of selling. We're going to have to... It's probably Kevin Nash. Probably Kevin Nash. But Kevin Nash benefited from having crowd support. People love the nWo. But Randy Savage picks up the win. Clean 1-2-3 in the middle of the ring. But as soon as the bell rings and Randy Savage starts to celebrate, out come the nWo and they attack. They just start beating up Randy Savage. Typical ending of WCW Nitro. The nWo come out. But as they're attacking Randy Savage, out comes the Giant and Lex Luger. As they start to try to clear out the ring, they start coming out and they start beating up all the members. I couldn't fit every single member of the nWo, but as you see, there's Vincent. They all come out, Vicious and Delicious, Big Bubba Rogers, you know, every member of the nWo comes out and they start beating the hell out of Randy Savage. They got bats and everything, but the Giant and Lex come out with weapons of their own. They start clearing the ring, but Nash and Scott Hall take them out. And then the rest of the nWo gets back in the ring and they start beating it out. And then all of a sudden, out from the Raptors, out comes Sting with a ball bat and he clears out the ring as he saves his friend Lex Luger and the Giant as they get up. And the Giant and Lex look at each other and they look at Sting. Nobody's seen... Sting hasn't spoken in months. Sting hasn't said anything after being accused of being a member of the nWo. And Sting kind of just looks at them and he takes out Lex and the Giant too. And Sting then ascends back into the rafters where he came. He just cleared out the whole fucking ring by himself. The segment got a 93. We finished the show. It got a 76. We lost popularity. We are a main event show, so a lot of our stuff is based on the main event. We could gain popularity in 2 American regions, but it was restricted due to viewers. The general feeling is not enough storylines going on. We are probably going to have to book some more stories, but we are going to go ahead and finish the show. Learning the save. We're learning, guys, who everybody's stats and everything like that. But Macho Man picked up the win here tonight, guys. Thank y'all for watching the video. Leave a like. That is going to let me know that y'all are liking the WCW save. It's pretty much going to be, we're either going to do ECW or WCW. We are going to find out what y'all would like to see. I'm basically leaving this in y'all's hands on what y'all would love to see here on the channel. Should we move forward with the WCW save? Should we move forward with the ECW save? I am leaving that up to y'all. We are going to try to book a month and see which one y'all like better. My name is Dylan the Villain, guys. If you like this episode and want to see more of not WCW but my WWF save, it will be right here. The playlist will be right here. And if you are new to the channel and want to subscribe for more Total Extreme Wrestling content and more wrestling content, I have some things planned in the future, I should say. The subscribe icon will be right here. My name is Dylan the Villain, guys. And like I always say, if you cannot play with each other, then do what I do and play with yourself. Later, guys.